Are you looking for an Intown Atlanta neighborhood that has historic charm and modern homes at a price point that's not going to completely deplete your entire piggy bank? Well, if so, then you might want to consider the neighborhood of Edgewood. It's kind of in the center of everything, and it has flavor, it has soul, and it also is walking distance to a Target and a taco joint. So more on that coming up. But come along with me as I give you a tour of the Edgewood neighborhood. Now, before I start walking and talking, let me put this up on a map so you can see exactly where the Edgewood neighborhood is at. Now you're going to notice that it is surrounded by a lot of cool other neighborhoods. You've got Candler Park, there's Inman Park, you've got Reynoldstown. So a lot of fun neighborhoods surrounding Edgewood. But you know, even getting around town is not too far. You're only about a 10 to 12 minute drive from Edgewood down to the Midtown area, and also 10 to 12 minutes to the downtown area. The airport about 20 minutes, and Buckhead, that's going to take you about 20 minutes too. But I will say, if you are traveling from Buckhead back into the Edgewood area at that 4 to 5 o'clock hour, it's going to take you probably 35 minutes. So budget extra time if you are traveling during those peak rush hours. By the way, my name is Molly, and welcome back to my channel where I talk all things living here in the Atlanta area. And hey, if you need help with your home search here in the Atlanta area, reach out to me. That's what I do. Do not be shy. All my contact information is down below in that comment section, so reach out to me any way that feels comfortable for you. So, okay, I'm going to start kind of on the northern end of this neighborhood and then kind of work my way kind of south, kind of east. We'll see how it goes. But I'm right here. There's actually a MARTA station, and they kind of like redid this whole area. This used to not really be anything, and now we've got a couple places to eat. We've got some apartments here. This place has really changed over the last couple of years. And so they've got like this really good sandwich shop, Bonafide, and right next door we've got a wine shop as well. And then we've got this little dance studio, and like I said, access to the MARTA station if you are looking for that. So that's just great about Edgewood, is that you can access the MARTA if you are looking for transportation. And I will say, Edgewood isn't like the most walkable neighborhood, but it's kind of walkable. I mean, you can walk over to the big Edgewood shopping center. I will show you that here a little bit later, but I mean, you can walk over to the Target and the Kroger and that kind of thing. There's not a lot of mom and pop type of stores here in Edgewood, but there's a couple local gyms. I'm going to show you those, so stay tuned. But let me start walking down street here, and I'm just going to start showing you some home examples, and then I'm going to show you some of the cool hot spots here in the Edgewood area as well. So it seems like there's always some new apartment complexes popping up. This is the most recent one. It's called the Hanover Edgewood. It's right here off of La France Drive, basically parallel to the MARTA station. So or the MARTA line. But one thing about Edgewood is that you're going to notice that it is kind of a random mix of everything. You've got the old historic bungalows mixed in with newer construction townhomes and newer modern. So there's not like a super homogeneous look. So if you're into that, you're not going to find that here. Edgewood, I would say it's not a fully polished neighborhood. It's a little gritty. It has charm with some edge. But I'm going to keep walking down here a little bit, and I'll tell you more about what you're going to have to expect to pay to live in this neighborhood. Okay, so what is it going to cost you to live in this neighborhood? Well, a single family home on average is going to cost you $613,000. That will get you about 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,870 square feet. Now, if you want a larger, newer build, then you're definitely gonna be paying more in that 900K price point. Anywhere from that 8 to 900K price point is what I would say. Hasn't been a lot of $1 million plus sales here in this neighborhood. I always feel like Edgewood is a little bit behind some of its other popular neighbors like Kirkwood, Reynoldstown. So that's just kind of how Edgewood has always been. Now, if you want a townhome, there's a lot of newer townhomes that are popping up. You can find them anywhere in the range of 400 to 800K. It just really depends on how large it is. But on average, you're going to be paying $636,000, and that'll get you about 3 bedroom, 3.5 baths, and 2,100 square feet. Now, there are some different condo options, a lot of loft style condo options in particular. and on average you're going to be paying around $378,000 for one of those. So I'll try to show you a couple of the buildings that you could find one of those loft or condo style options. But let me show you right behind me an example of a home. This one had sold. This one is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 2,300 square feet. It's a typical layout, a bungalow layout format. The finishes are nice, but they're not like the newest top of the line finishes, if you want to describe it that way. It does have a garage under the home and an unfinished basement. This sold for $725,000, so that kind of gives you an idea of the price range. And yeah, like right across the street there is basically a fixer-upper. So that is just one thing that you're going to find in the Edgewood neighborhood is, you're going to have, it can be kind of a block by block or street by street basis of whether the homes are in good shape or not good shape. But Edgewood has come a long, long way. It used to be a lot more grittier, and homes have gotten fixed up. I'd say it's just improved drastically over the past 15 years. So let me keep on walking here, show you some more of the home options that you're going to find here, and just give you a small flavor of what it would be like to live in this neighborhood. Again, right behind me here, this is just an example of what you're going to find. You're going to find kind of like the older house next to the new modern. Another thing that's popping up here a lot, like in some other neighborhoods like Reynoldstown, is you get this this like a duplex situation. You have a house in the front, a house in the back. They're connected by a garage. So you do find a lot of that in the Edgewood neighborhood as well. My guess is you're going to be paying in that 800, 900K price point for those types of homes, only because you are getting basically a brand new build. But yeah, in this neighborhood, you're just going to get that mix of the bungalow next to the new modern and the fixer upper. That's just how this neighborhood is laid out. And I will say, Edgewood, I think, used to be touted as a super dangerous area, but now you just see so many people out walking their dogs, and you hear of a little bit of crime activity once in a while, but it has definitely vastly changed for the better, and has really cleaned up its act a lot. So let me keep on going, and I will show you some more home examples next. Now, right along this street, there is kind of like this row of newer construction townhomes. I think they were built maybe late 2019, early 2020, something in that time range. And you can get anything from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom townhome, and the prices will range anywhere from $400,000 to $600,000. It just kind of depends on the size of the townhome. But yeah, a lot of new there. And then right next to it, you get some of these older bungalows, and some of these bungalows can be rented really cutely. Is that a word? Cutely? They can be renovated really cute. And I'm not gonna lie, there's gonna be some quirky bungalows as well. That's just as any in-town neighborhood, there's just a lot of that older floor plan, older layouts in these older bungalows that you're going to find, and you certainly find that here in Edgewood. But let me go up another block or two, and I'll show you the little community area. and welcome to Edgewood's community garden. So they do a lot of social events here, everything from workshops on how to garden, how to grow some vegetables, to learning how to grow a bee pollination colony, whatever you want to call it. So if you are into gardening or just getting together with some local neighbors, then this might be a spot where you might want to hang out at. So cute little garden area. Let me just show you as I exit here. I'm at the intersection of Hardy and Mason, and you're just going to see how different some of these streets can be. So you've got this Zone 6 police station here. I don't even know if anyone ever goes in it, but then right across the street you have these uber modern style homes, and then you've got some other new construction right down the street. So if you're looking for a modern that's not going to cost you, $2 million, this is an area where you might want to look, because like I said, there hasn't been a lot of homes that have went over that $1 million mark yet. Now, one thing that Edgewood does have is they do have some complexes here where it is more affordable housing options, rental townhome type situations. Like one is right behind me here off of Hutchinson Avenue. And so there's some kind of subsidy going on. So, if you qualify, you might be able to get into some more of this more affordable housing, which is great that, we are keeping some affordability into some of these neighborhoods. But this is just one option. I don't really know that much about it, to be honest, in terms of what it costs. So don't be calling me up and asking me to help you find something in here. That's just not what I do. I don't do a lot of rentals. But let me head up the street here. I've got one home example to show you. Okay, so here's another home example right behind me. This is, again, one of those duplex type situations where you have a home in the front, a home in the back, and it's separated by a garage. So this sold for $749,000. It gives you 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, just over 2,200 square feet. Has an open layout. It has some wood beam detailing in the ceiling, which I love. Hardwood throughout. So it's just a really nice, normal home, kind of what everyone's seeking, but you are going to pay for it. Now this one's a little bit of an older build, so it's in the mid 7s. If you're wanting something in that newer range, you're going to be paying in that, like I said, probably $800 to $850 range. Now I'm going to head up and swing over, show you a couple more townhome examples that are scattered in the area, and then I will head up and show you that Edgewood Shopping Center, which is oh so convenient for you if you are living here in Edgewood. If you are looking for a newer townhome option, one complex you could look into is right here behind me. This is called the Whitford. It's right off of La France and Whitford Avenue, or is that street? I don't know. Either way, it was built in 2017. You can get about 2,900 square feet, and these are gonna cost you in that low 800K price point, but really nice finishes inside, a lot more modern. Now, I will say some of these are directly right next to the MARTA line. So you're gonna hear that MARTA zooming by, but that is in town living for you. Let me show you this other complex just right across the street. It is super adorable. It's called La France Walk. This is just like a small little village of single family homes. There's actually some condos built along the side too. So it's just like a small little community feel. These are going to be newer builds. They were built in like 2019. You're going to get anything from 2,400 to 2,700 square feet. Now they are selling for like that upper 800, low 900,000 price range, but just a great layout. It's got all the modern style that people like, and just a cute, sweet little neighborhood. So let me walk quickly through here. Okay, I'm making my way over to the Edgewood Shopping Center, and before I round the corner to where all of the short stores are, you can see right to my right here, we have some older townhomes. These are probably built in the early 2000s, but they have like a rooftop deck that you can get a pretty good view of the city. But if you look a little too far down, you're going to see the roof of the Lowe's store. So, but as long as you're looking up and outward, you get a nice view of the city. I would say these are selling now in that low 600K price point, but you get a pretty decent space. They're going to be a little bit older, but you know, these were built in the early 2000s. So I've got a few pictures of a listing I had here so I can show you an example of kind of what the layout looks like. But then, you know, here's another example right behind me where you have the house duplex option where you got two homes separated by a garage. These are selling right around that 800K price point. Now, I will say the prices in Edgewood can vary a little bit depending on what street you're on, what's next to your neighbor, that kind of thing. But let me round the corner now. I'm going to walk over to the Edgewood Shopping Center and show you just a little glimpse of what that looks like. But I mean, that's one thing that is convenient about Edgewood. If you need a Target, if you need a Kroger, if you need a Lowe's, I mean, this is one of the only Lowe's I know of that's here in the city. Everything else is Home Depot, as it should be since Home Depot is headquartered here in Atlanta. But it's just a very convenient location to do all of your, you know, daily things that you need to do and shop for. You can do that all here. And there's a few little restaurants here too, like, you know, Five Guys, Burger and Fries, and you know, a couple other little places to eat. So I wouldn't say it's like the top dining site, but stay tuned. If you're wanting tacos, I got a gem one to share with you. But let's go check out this shopping center first. Now, something I'm going to tell you about is that the edge of Edgewood borders Moreland. That's where the Edgewood Shopping Center starts. And you're going to see lots of traffic going by, and this road gets super busy during rush hour. This will get really backed up, even on weekends in the afternoon, especially if there's events going on. This will get really backed up. So that's just something to keep in mind. This can make getting into Edgewood a little bit of a pain, but there are some side roads that you can take off of DeKalb and kind of circumnavigate that. But again, if you are looking at a home that is on Moreland and it seems like a good price, there's a reason for that. It's on a busy road. But let me keep going and show you a few more shops. All right, so that is your look at the Edgewood Shopping Center. This is a very busy shopping center because it basically serves all of the residents that live in any of these in-town neighborhoods. The next closest Target is either going to be in like North Druid Hills or you go up into Buckhead. So this Target is definitely very busy. I try to avoid this whole shopping center on the weekends. It gets very crowded. The parking can be insane. So if you can, try to hit this up during the weekdays. Another cool thing, like, so I'm gonna turn around here. You see this building behind me? This is one of the loft buildings or condo options that you could get. This is called the Shoe Factory Lofts, and units in here sell in the low 300K price range. So if you're looking for some walkability, close to convenience, and not gonna break the bank, this is a great option for you. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, you know I've done a video of the Edgewood neighborhood before, but I wanted to bring you an update and show you kind of a new look at all of the areas. And you know, some of these shops have changed. There used to be a Bed Bath & Beyond, and those have all shut down, sadly. It's been replaced with a Burlington coat factory, and I'm not thrilled about that. There was a Barnes & Noble that shut down, and now that is a Marshall. So some of these stores changed, but some of the staples here like Kroger, Target, Petco, they've been here a long time. So again, this is a very convenient shopping area if you live in Edgewood. It might be a little too dangerous. I mean, living walkable to a Target, whew, that would break my wallet. Okay, I'm walking to one more home example for you, and you may be wondering, who lives in this neighborhood? Well, I can't exactly say, but I will say you're going to get a great mix of people. You're going to get people that have lived here for generations, and then you're going to get some younger dinks, as I say. If you don't know what dinks is, let me know, I can tell you. But you'll have, younger professionals and families. So it's a good mix of people here in the Edgewood neighborhood. And I will say it really is kind of a street by street, block by block basis on what kind of homes you're going to get. You're going to get like sometimes a really great row of homes and then a collection of not so great homes. So it really just kind of depends. But here's one more home example I have for you. It's a little one on the pricier side. So it is right behind me here, this beautiful blue Craftsman. This was built in 2015. It's got 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's about 2,600 square feet. It sold for $845,000. It has a mix of hardwood floors and carpet in the bedrooms. It has granite, and you're going to notice just a driveway. And that is what I would say a majority of the homes in this neighborhood. You're just going to get a driveway, not a garage. But usually there is off-street parking of some sort for each home. But if you are looking in the lower end, I know I've showed you more like $700,000, $800,000 prices on single family homes, but you can certainly find some homes in the $600K range. That'll give you like a smaller 3-2 bungalow. You can get some in the 5s and sometimes even in the 4s, but they might be kind of on the edges, at least the $400K price point, kind of on the edges of this neighborhood and not the best location, to be honest. And they're going to be smaller or need a lot of work. I mean, fixer-uppers can start in that mid $300K price point. It really just kind of depends on the block that you are on. Now, if you're wondering about schools, the schools that are zoned to Edgewood include Toomer Elementary School, Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, and Maynard Jackson High School. And all the schools are pretty close by. In fact, the Toomer Elementary is just right next door over in Kirkwood. And I would say these schools get kind of pretty middle of the road rankings, but always do your research. I know some parents have love these schools. So I would just say do your research and see if they're going to fit your criteria of what a good school is. But the great thing is that you are right next to Kirkwood, which also has some great places to go grab something to eat. So you can easily pop over there. If you're wondering about grocery stores, of course, I showed you where the one was in the Edgewood Shopping Center. But if you wanted to Publix, you could just hop over Moreland over into Reynoldstown. There's one over there at Madison Yards. Okay. I'm just going to head up the street and around the corner, and I'm going to hit the trolley trail line. I've mentioned this before in some of my vlog videos, especially the one on Kirkwood. And this great trail will lead you from Kirkwood all the way through Edgewood. They've expanded the trail, and it will take you and connect you over into the Beltline. So if you are wondering about how close you are to the Beltline, I would say give or take, you're about a mile away from connecting over into the Beltline. But now with this trolley trail expansion, you can certainly pop on there and get over to the Beltline a little bit easier. So let me around the corner here though, and I'm going to take you to a magical place here in Edgewood. And that magical place is Tacos at El Tesoro. All right, I am at that hidden gem here in Edgewood I promised I would share with you, and that is El Tesoro. It's here in Edgewood. It's right off of Arkwright and Whitford Avenue. The tacos are great. The margaritas are even better. I love their agua frescas as well. And at Cinco de Mayo was just yesterday, and I can still eat some more tacos. There's never a day that I could not eat tacos. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself something to eat real quick, and then we'll continue on. Okay, I'm feeling way better. I was getting a little hungry and hot, so I got myself a watermelon agua fresca. It is so good, and yeah, El Tesoro never gets old for me. Now, if I kept heading down this trolley trail line, I would eventually run into Cohen Park, which is over in Edgewood or Kirkwood, and so that's another great green space if you're looking for some playground equipment, some tennis courts, basketball courts, that kind of thing. You could certainly head down that way. Now, I am going to head over to the green space that is in Edgewood, which is over in Walker Park, so hang on for that. But let me go over the pros and cons that I put together for living in Edgewood. Okay, so on my pros list, I would say it's a central location. It's so close to a lot of other fun neighborhoods, so whenever there's a festival going on, you can easily get over to those other neighborhoods for whatever is going on very, very easily and quickly. Also, you're just close by to all the everyday conveniences, so if you've got a Target run you need to do, or a Kroger run, you're not far, I mean, just minutes away, so that is obviously definitely a positive. Also, the price point in Edgewood is much better than other in-town neighborhoods. So if you're seeking kind of that charming bungalow, but you don't want to have to pay what you would pay in Candler Park or in Virginia Highland, definitely you can get some cheaper options here in the Edgewood neighborhood. Also, there's just a great mix of homes, whether you want modern, you want the charming old historic or bungalow, or a craftsman. It's got a little bit of everything, even townhomes and lofts too. Now on the con side for Edgewood, I would say you're gonna have a very inconsistent look. You're gonna have a modern next to a bungalow, next to a teardown. Like, it can be very patchy, very block by block. I would also say some of the construction that I'm seeing here in Edgewood is kind of not the best. It is, it just screams a little bit budget construction. I don't know how else to put it, but I'm not saying all construction here is bad, but I just am seeing some builders are better than others in terms of giving a quality product out here in the Edgewood area. Final con, I would say, is traffic congestion. You know, one of the main roads in this neighborhood is Moreland, so that plus with the Edgewood Shopping Center, it just creates a lot of car congestion. The good news is you can circumnavigate that a little bit by using Memorial Avenue and DeKalb Avenue as other options for getting out of this neighborhood. So there you go, that's my pros and cons. Now I'm walking over to Walker Park, but one thing I wanted to point out, I'm walking on Memorial Avenue, which is a busy road. I've pointed this out on my Kirkwood vlog tour as well. And just a side note, like if you're buying something on Memorial Avenue, there's a lot of traffic, if you can't tell. But you can see like there's some really nice townhomes right here, but the ones that are facing Memorial Avenue are going to be a little bit noisier. So, you know, if that's going to bother you, try to find an interior unit. But usually the ones that are on Memorial Avenue may sell for a little bit of a discount. But yeah, that's just my one piece of advice. If you're looking on something and it has Memorial Avenue as the address, just be cautious. It could be a little bit noisy. Now trust me, if you've got kids, they're gonna love this park. I couldn't resist it. I had to go down that elevator. My kids love going down that when I bring them here at Walker Park. It has a little bit of playground equipment. It's got this big giant green field. I'll see people playing soccer, ultimate frisbee. There is this nice sidewalk loop that goes around the field, and I will tell you, if you've got kids trying to learn how to ride a bike, bring them here because, you know, learning to ride a bike in Atlanta can be tricky because it's so hilly, and then finding a flat terrain can be hard. But Walker Park is one of those little parent hacks that I can tell you about. Is this is where you need to bring your kids if they are learning to ride a bike. Nice and flat, they can make laps and laps and laps around this field area. There's also kind of like a skating area or a hockey area that you can play roller hockey. There's little garden here. So this is just a little place that you can stretch out and get some green space. Now, one thing I will say is that this park backs up right next to I-20. I don't know if you can hear the I-20 traffic behind me, but you can definitely hear it when you are outside. And that's one thing I will caution you as well. If you're seeing homes in between a Memorial Avenue and I-20 and the price seems really good, well, there's a reason for it, because you're gonna hear that hum of the I-20 traffic. Now, when you're inside your house, you may not hear it as much depending on how well insulated it is, but it is something to keep in mind, that if you're seeing a nice house and a nice price, but it's by I-20, yeah, you're gonna hear a little bit of that highway noise. Okay, one final thing I will tell you about. Now, I mentioned that there are some different loft options here in the Edgewood area. I'm over at Arizona Lofts right now. This is kind of on the borderline of Edgewood and Kirkwood, but this is one option that you could find that has the loft style look. You can find a 1-bedroom here in the low 300s and you'll get about 1,000 square feet. A 2-bedroom you will get in the low 400s and you'll get about 1,400 square feet, give or take. And there's actually a pool with this complex. There's a small gym, there's a dog park. So there's some amenities with this one. Also, just down the road on LaFrance Street, there's LaFrance Lofts. Very similar feel to the Arizona Lofts, and those will be in the mid 3s and the mid 400 price range. But yeah, if you are into the loft style, this is an option here over in the Edgewood / Kirkwood area. Now, if you have any questions on these loft units or any house in general here in the Atlanta area or in Edgewood, just reach out to me. That's what I am here for, is to help you find a place to live here in the Atlanta area. But you guys, that pretty much wraps up my tour of Edgewood. What did you think? Yes, no? If this neighborhood wasn't for you, I've got plenty of other neighborhood suggestions I could give to you. Just reach out to me. Do not be shy. But yeah, I enjoyed this beautiful sunny day. There was barely any clouds in the sky. I probably should have wore shorts though. I'm a little hot now as the day has progressed on. But anyway, it's all for you guys. So thank you for hanging with me. If you see me out in the wild, make sure you say hello. I'd love to just say thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.